and I'm the Executive Director of Special Education in Fort Bend ISD, and I'm so happy this morning to get to share our student success story. Samuel Allen is our student success story this morning. In 2013, Samuel Allen graduated Ronald Reagan High School in his hometown of San Antonio and began his post-secondary work in the Alamo Colleges system, receiving his associate's degree in 2016. Sam was presented with the 2013 Lamar Award signed by Governor Rick Perry in recognition of outstanding personal achievement in academics, citizenship, community service, or sports. He has worked 5 consecutive summers, saving 80% of his salary to help pay for his higher education. He is currently enrolled at Texas A&M San Antonio, majoring in business administration with a specialty in computer information systems. Sam is diagnosed with high-functioning autism, but in spite of the challenges the doctors told him he would face, Sam has maintained a positive outlook not only for himself, but through Asperger's 101, a nonprofit organization his mother formed. Through Asperger's 101, Sam is the voice for those on the spectrum, where he advocates for living your best life possible with autism and Asperger's diagnosis. Sam works with and trains Texas DPS trooper recruits on understanding communication impediments in a pullover situation. He is also the spokesperson for the statewide Driving with Autism initiative in collaboration with Texas DPS and the Texas Governor's Committee on People with Disabilities. Sam credits special education in Northeast ISD in large part for laying the foundation of serving others while striving for the life of independence. And I'm happy to introduce EastBed, who is here today to sponsor the student success story. So EastBed. And this is Mary Ellen and Kisa with EastBed.
My name is Mary Ellen LaCamera, and this is my sister Kisa Sung, and it is our pleasure to join you this morning in honor of Sam Allen. Years ago, our father approached TCASE about presenting, acknowledging an exceptional Texas student. And in his honor today, Mary Ellen and I are so pleased to have met you, Sam, and to learn about the amazing work that you did in your early educational career and what you are pursuing in your higher education career and contributing back to society. So this award not only recognizes all of your achievements, but also all of the teachers, related service staff, paraprofessionals, and those that you met throughout your educational journey and continue to meet, because they, at some point, I'm sure, lifted you up and gave you the confidence that you could achieve what you are currently achieving and what we have yet to see you do. So, with that, and in honor of George Dionis, who Mary Ellen and I are so thrilled to be able to do, is to congratulate you. And we look forward to watching all of your amazing contributions to society in the autism spectrum field. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad all of you could be here. And let me just say I am honored to be a recipient of the Texas Council of Administrators of Special Ed Student Success Story of the Year Award. I would also like to thank Mrs. Jan DeHaven from Northeast Independent School District for nominating me for this award. Now, as it was stated, I've been diagnosed with high-functioning autism, or better known as Asperger's syndrome, ADHD, anxiety, and late developing OCD. I'm currently enrolled in Texas A&M University, San Antonio, working towards a degree in working towards a Bachelor of Business Administration in Computer Information Systems. Now, I love computers. I have my own desktop computer. I built it myself. I built my brother's desktop computer. I've recently also gotten into programming. And I've even built my own FM radio station. I had an antenna put in the attic. I ran a coaxial cable down into my room, played my own music, and it broadcasted a good 1.5 miles. Now, overall, the big importance here is that of special ed and the administrators and teachers behind it. Now, a big question here is, how did special ed make me the success I am today? You know, examples being graduating from high school, working 5 years of summer jobs to make money for college, being in college, working towards my major, and working with TCASE on training law enforcement officials on autism and how to spot it. And to me, the idea of living a strong, independent, or living a successful life is living a strong, independent life. That would be driving to and from work myself, being self-sufficient, buying my own groceries, etc. Everything starting in elementary school was an endeavor, a big endeavor to find out what was happening with me, because up until the 3rd grade, we had no idea what was going on with me. I didn't socialize with other children, I acted strange sometimes. And so the first milestone was finding out that I was on the autism spectrum. Now, in the 3rd grade, there was a teacher. She had just come back from a seminar, and she handed my mom a piece of paper with all the symptoms of autism. And sure enough, I fit the bill with everything on there. And my mom, she began to feel choked up because she was not only shocked, because she thought, my son having autism? And she was not only shocked, she was also relieved to know there was finally an explanation to what was going on with me. Now, the second milestone was learning about what comes with Asperger's, and that would be being sensitive to certain smells, not liking loud sounds, social awkwardness. And the teachers would help me out with this, like if I didn't like certain smells in the cafeteria, or I didn't like any loud sounds in the cafeteria, they would let me eat somewhere quiet, somewhere secluded. But the smells, maybe, and the loud sounds would keep me from learning most of the time. Now, the 3rd milestone was figuring out my learning methods. Like, was I a tactile learner? Was I an auditory learner? Was I a visual learner? And one thing I found out was sitting in front of the class helped out a lot, rather than sitting in the back, which would more than likely get me distracted. Eventually, I found myself in the 5th grade. My 5th grade teacher, Miss Calloway, was giving a question about probability. She was asking, how probable is it that the sun will rise in the morning? And I said, well, technically the sun isn't rising, it's just the earth rotating to give me illusion. But when she heard that, she wrote a note to my parents about how she depicted me as brilliant instead of autistic. And this one note, it helped my family on how they perceive autism. And like this example shows this next thing that the teacher's perspective impacts the parent's perspective a lot. Now, time went on, I found myself in middle school. I didn't see bullying as much of a problem as the special ed administrators did. I still rode the bus to and from middle school, but one day the assistant principal phoned my parents, and they said they kept, you know, the buses have cameras on them. They caught video of bullies throwing stuff at my head, like pieces of paper, but for some odd reason I never told my parents. But thanks to this intervention from the assistant principal, we were able to stop this bullying and a majority of a whole lot more bullying. Now, working together with the faculty and the teachers can do the same. It can prevent a whole lot more bullying than if the faculty didn't intervene. Now, I found myself in high school, which surprisingly enough was a lot more easier than middle school, and I found the older I got, the easier it was. Now, one service that special ed provided that helped me out a ton was revolved around fire drills. Now, how many of you know what a jump scare is? Well, basically the fire drills there was the equivalent of a jump scare. You didn't know when it was going to go off, you didn't know what time of day it was going to happen, and the impendingness of when it was going to happen just terrified me. I couldn't work, I couldn't focus on my work at all, and I did not want to go to school at all. But eventually, we didn't know what was going on, but eventually I figured it out. I told my parents, and because of this, we told the special ed administrators and teachers, and they provided a service where they took me out before the fire drill went off. And we would just stand outside while the fire drill went off, and because of this, I was able to get back to my work as normal. I didn't have any fear anymore because of that. Now, being in high school provided numerous electives for me, and one of them happened to be my engineering class, and my favorite teacher was in that class. His name is Mr. Ward. And being in this class allowed me to participate for the first time in a competition, a statewide competition even, and I entered some engineering designs into this competition and won at various levels. And as a person with autism, it felt so good to finally be utilizing my skills towards specialized interests. Now, high school came and went, and eventually I graduated. I did graduate with an engineering award, which was in advanced engineering design and presentation. And even though I was less than 1 point away from graduating cum laude, my family and I still celebrated that day of graduation because we knew everything from kindergarten up until that point was a team effort between family, educators, school district, and personal initiative that allowed somebody with autism like me to go this far. I truly believe that my foundation for future success was a large part due to the special ed administrators and teachers that I was afforded throughout my school years. To all of you who may influence someone like me, a person with special needs, know that your impact is great. Even if you can't see it, your impact really is great, one way or the other. A person can be crippled if they think of themselves as broken, but a person can soar and really let their talent shine if they think of themselves as gifted instead. Thank you.